afternoon, everyone. Today I'm your reporter, Gabrielle Hardy, here with my co-hosts, YongEn Fame, Elise, Duran Dixon, and Luna Randolph. Today we are going to talk about food extras in North Center and West Garfield Park. Okay, on to them.
There's a big problem plaguing the city of Chicago today, something you might not even be aware of. This problem is one that impacts everyone's lives, specifically the longevity of people's lives. Can you guess what this major, life-threatening problem is? Well, it is life expectancy. In this special report, we're going to focus on one of its biggest causes.
In Chicago's 77 neighborhoods, you can see a giant gap in life expectancy just mere miles over from one area. Streeterville, for example, has a life expectancy of approximately 90 years, whereas West Garfield Park has only 66. That's a greater than 20-year difference. What are the reasons for this? Well, it stems from segregation, a concept defined as the action or state of setting someone or something apart from others. Segregation is usually based on race or income. This greatly affects Chicago, with white and privileged people clustered in rich neighborhoods, and usually Black or Latino people stuck in underserved areas. Underserved areas often don't have access or have poor access to transportation, healthcare, education, and jobs. All of these factors affect life expectancy and are the reasons for the aforementioned gap in it. Our focus, food insecurity and lack of nutrition, are major factors that can influence one's life expectancy. Food deserts are what they call these underserviced areas that are lacking in grocery stores selling fresh fruits and vegetables. The lack of stores make it difficult for people to get good food that supports a nourishing diet, leading to things such as obesity, diabetes, and chronic disease, directly linking to their often shorter lifespans, since these things can be fatal. To elaborate more on the issues facing her neighborhood, we're going to have a special guest, Gabrielle Hardy.
Hello, what is your name?
I'm Gabrielle Hardy, and I'm a freshman at Washington College.
That's cool. What neighborhood do you live in?
I live in West Garfield Park.
Is your neighborhood, would you consider it a food desert?
I would. It takes me like 10 or so minutes to walk to the nearest grocery store, and there's a lot of like McDonald's and Popeyes in between that walk.
What about like poverty and race in your neighborhood? Do you think those interlap with like other factors that may be keeping it a food desert?
I do. I feel like there's a lot of African American people in my neighborhood and a lot of Hispanics in my neighborhood. So I feel like the crime rate is pretty high in my neighborhood, so people don't want to open up farmers markets and things like that because of the crime rate.
Would you say it's segregated? Like from other places?
Yeah, I would say it's segregated because it's like only really a lot of mainly African Americans and there's a few like Hispanic Mexican people.
What about the life expectancy there? Do you know the number?
Yeah, it's 66 years, which is like it's really low compared to other neighborhoods.
What would you say, like, how would you describe the quality of life?
I would say the quality of life is like, it's okay. It's not the best. Like, it's kind of dangerous walking my dog at nighttime, so I have to be like extra cautious and check behind me. And it's like a lot of alcohol bottles and like cigarette butts everywhere. So.
How common do you think like obesity is? Because you mentioned there being more fast food than fresh food.
I would say it's very common. Like I know a lot of people who are like overweight for their age and their height and things like that. And I would say it's like plays a big factor in like I feel like grocery stores play a big factor in like the obesity rate.
Would you like? Do you have a percentage for us?
I think it's 40.1.
Yeah. Would you say that like leads to a lot of like heart disease or diabetes there?
I would because a lot of people are just consuming like Popeyes and like Taco Bell and things like that, so they're not really getting a lot of fresh fruit and veggies throughout the week.
Yeah. So do you agree that like food access is just generally a big problem?
I do agree that food access is such a big problem in my neighborhood. I feel like there's a lot of things we need to change this.
What are some of those changes?
I think we should open like public markets, which are like run by vendors who could like cut out the middleman and just supply groceries directly to the neighborhood. And I feel like we could also open like up farmers markets and things like that to offer more around the neighborhood.
Those are great solutions. Like, do you think the lack of food accessibility directly affects the life expectancy there?
I do because there's not a lot of people in my neighborhood to eat. They have to eat like groceries, like corner store food and stuff like that, or like pizzas and like burgers all the time because it's not a nice way to get towards the grocery store if that might be a lot.
Do you think that's like damaging people's health? Because you mentioned saying like diabetes and like chronic disease in your neighborhood.
I do feel like it's damaging people's health because they're not like eating healthy. They can't maintain a healthy diet, so they're just ruining their health and things like that. So they can't maintain a healthy diet.
Yeah, okay. That definitely does impact life expectancy, you know?
Yeah, it does.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you. Bye, guys.
You're probably wondering, is there a solution to this? Let's observe another situation to get ideas on what we can do. Here is our next guest, Elise Dixon.
Hi, what is your name, age, and what school do you attend?
My name is Elise Dixon. I'm 14 and I attend Walter Bay.
Okay, so what neighborhood do you live in?
I live in North Central.
Okay. Would you consider your neighborhood like a food desert by chance?
No, there's lots of good access to food in grocery stores.
Okay. And what side of segregation do you think your neighborhood's on?
My neighborhood is predominantly white.
So do you think, in general, since your neighborhood's predominantly white, do you think race and income of people correlate with life expectancy?
Yes.
Okay. What is the life expectancy in your neighborhood?
It's about 88.
Okay. What would you say the quality of life is in your neighborhood? And tell me about how the people are.
The quality of life is good. There's like lots of good access to food and like resources and all that.
Okay. Would you say that obesity is common in your neighborhood?
No, there's only 18.8%.
Okay. Do you think the access to food is a big problem?
No, not really. There's good access.
And in general, do you think the lack of accessibility affects life expectancy? I know you already answered the question a little bit, but can you expand on that a little?
Well, there's good accessibility, so I would say that affects the life expectancy positively.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your time.
Based on our interviews and other research, we have come up with a number of solutions to improve life expectancy in underserved areas based on food-related factors.
The solution could be to open more farmers markets. This could provide individuals living in underprivileged areas with enough fresh food and produce. Not only will this level out the rates of food insecurity in certain areas of the city, but it will also increase the access of healthy and nutritious food to individuals.
Another solution is Healthy Chicago 2025's plan. It works to increase food access and improve inequities in Chicago via implementing food environment maps, establishing food policies to increase food access, and supporting local businesses. It can be implemented through volunteer work, advocacy, and government funding.
One solution is opening more food banks in underserved areas. This will improve the health and longevity of people's lives by providing them more fresh food. We can implement this through getting government funding to support them and turning old buildings into food pantries. It will also open up more job opportunities for people in these neighborhoods because we support them.